Hello there. My name is Ryan. I'm an autistic individual recently coming out of a fatigue burnout period. So I wanted to do something a little special and fun. I noticed during this period I had ordered a rather large amount of new fidgets, but in typical neurodivergent fashion, I either forgot about them and put them aside because I was fixated on something else. So I thought we could put them in a box, pull them out at random, and just explore them together. There are affiliate links to all of these fidgets in the description of this video which support the channel, but they aren't required as I urge everyone to explore their options as we have all our own unique needs and must find the right fidget for you or the person you're purchasing for. These are merely the ones I'm trying out, but we'll try to overly describe and play with the fidgets so you can tell if it's your type. I will be muting the unboxing sounds for those with auditory sensitivity problems such as myself. Sorry if the lack of sound is a bit lacking, but okay, enough with this intro. I'm too excited. Let's unbox and fidget away. All right, let's see what we have. All right, so these are the rainbow balls. They're a solid plastic casing, and you can push the balls in the direction of the open casing. Now, this will push them around, and you're supposed to have it almost as like a game, if you like, and match the colors together. Now, the white circle is the odd one out, so you know at least where your starting point is. Now, due to the size, this might be good for those who simply like to roll an object around in their hands, where it's more about the motion of the object rather than the details or the features. On the other hand, if you like a very solid fidget that can take or require a large amount of force to partake in, then this could be a good option for you as it's quite a robust plastic fidget. All right, so we have I believe they're called Fidget Pads. Now, again, solid plastic. It's got fidget features on every surface, ranging from different sensory providing. You've got like sliders, buttons, you've got other texture feels, so there's a variety here. And it also fits quite nicely into your hand. You can rotate it in your hand because it's small enough. I tend to use the like cube versions of these because I like the feel of it, but I can see the appeal of this shape and size as well. Now, it does come with a strap to keep it safe while moving, but it's not also required because with how small this is, it could just fit in your pocket and you could either fidget in your pocket or, whip it out and have a good fidget whenever you feel like it. Now, I have such a soft spot for these types of fidgets. They are small and you can carry them anywhere for those who like to over fidget with multiple types of stimulus, but having it small enough to hide if you feel the need. Now, the quantity of different types of stimulus is great for those who just stick to one and need to constantly be changing it up, as it were, ideal for, that purpose, because sometimes we don't know what we need and these can cover all our bases. So this is the Tangle. It's made of solid plastic with smooth surfaces, but it's also very surprisingly flexible, especially when it's in your palm of your hand or you're rotating it outwards. I've always wanted to try one of these out. This is a fidget for a person who needs a lot of hand movement, but doesn't have to have a lot of body movement. This fidget can be used to wrap around things, or if you're like me, you just want to scrunch it up in your hand and roll it around. Almost like a solid version of Play-Doh, which I really hate that stuff. I'm not sure it's suitable for people who might be a little heavy-handed, although it feels really solid, so we'll have to see. All right, so we've got these magnetic rings. Now, they're very light, but they do have quite a decent magnetic pull, and they can either be used singular or as a pair or even all three. Now, I wouldn't use them as traditional fidget rings, in my opinion. I think when you have them on an open flat surface, it gets quite interesting as you can move them around, play with them, and magnetically pull them together. It's quite fun. Now, I would compare this fidget to a spinner. It's a similar shape and size, but fidget spinners have more movement about them, but it's very subjective to each person. Now, I don't think personally I'm a magnetic fidget person, but these are solid for their costs and it's very affordable. I think these are a solid fidget for those who like to play with magnets, and they're very strong, rigid ones at that for their price tag. These would be ideal for somebody with heavy hands, potential restless, who may break other fidgets if they get quite anxious or overregulated, like me and those stress balls. Hmm. So this is the fingers ring. Now, I think it's just a large fidget ring. I don't know why they've called it that. And it's quite large, to be honest. But it's very light plastic and you can tell straight away, which can be a good thing. You don't overtly always want a fidget to be quite heavy. It looks like what I would say is like a hexagonal nut. Is it? Yep, six sides. So it is a hexagonal nut. And it has got various stimulation on each side, which is always good for those who want a lot of options. I'm not sure you would wear it like a ring. I think it's something more that would be in the palm of your hand, similar to fidget cubes or the fidget pad that we just saw previously. They're a bit easier to handle than this. Now, these fidgets are ideal for those who need a lot of varied stimulus, very similar to the pads. You can move the whole thing or the individual parts around in your whole hand. And depending on what stimulus you need, there's enough types that, you can find what's for you. Just be wary with these types of fidgets, they can be surprisingly loud. I must admit, although one of my favorite types of fidgets, it tends to be only used while I'm alone out of respect for other people, which kind of makes me a little sad because they are one of my favorite types of fidgets. But it's a give and take situation, I guess. Okay, so this is quite a special one. This is the National Autistic Society, and they've labeled this as a sensory necklace, but it's in the shape of a xylophone. Now, it's very strong rubber, and it oh, I don't know how you describe it. It's you can wear it as a necklace. It can be placed on the wrist, or personally, I might just have something putting, this into my pocket. Now, it does have the logo on the back and it's got a textured surface. It's not overly pronounced, but it does give you quite nice sensory stimulation. And the xylophone keys themselves are a nice touch. They're colourful, but also textured. Now, although this is solid rubber, it doesn't feel too soft. Now, I bet if you bent it in half, it might, break, but for the most part, it seems quite robust. Now, this is a very well made and thought of fidget. The rubber is rather hard and quite surprising. Now, it does seem quite durable and able to change shape, and I do feel it'll last, but let's face it, if you bent this over, it would probably snap. I think this is a fidget for those who like the texture feel and access to very subtle stimulus, which can be easily fidgeted in your pocket or out with pride. I'm really impressed with this fidget, and this is coming from somebody who doesn't tend to like rubber based fidgets. But this is so well made, I could even see myself using this. It's probably why I, purchased it. All right, so we've got the water-based bead stress balls. Now, I already have a few of these actually. Now, they are exactly as they say, really. They're soft water-based beads. You can feel the beads when you apply pressure. Now, the bigger ones, you can feel the texture a little bit more rather than the small ones. Now, it's really relaxing when you squeeze it and whatnot, but be very warned, these do pop. And I have popped a few of them. They are for light pressure only. So just keep that in mind. These are ideal for those who like the concept of a stress ball, but more for a textural response for those who may like something a little bit more malleable in their hands. But be very wary. These are advertised as stress balls, but require light pressure only. It's more for the textural feel because they will pop and explode. Keep that in mind if you're purchasing this for yourself or another. They really do feel nice in the palm of your hand, and I use them regularly while at my desk. And when you need a quick and light fidget. All right, we have got the PlayStation Stress Controller. Now, I'm really surprised. This is made out of really quite solid and robust foam. It's really interesting. You can feel the texture as soon as you get it, and it does require some pressure to actually get a bit of feel out of it. Now, it does have a lot of grooves and textures to represent the buttons, the controllers, the thumbs, the buttons, and even a USB port. That's quite impressive. Now, I do remember purchasing this. It's such a novel idea of creating a stress fidget in the shape of a PlayStation game controller. For me, this is by far one of the best stress objects I've come across because the shape allows for various positions in your hand. Now, if you're a very rapid fidgeter like myself, we like a lot of options and feelings to regulate us. This would be ideal for someone quite similar. Now, although the foam does feel quite strong, I can't speak for its durability, and let's face it, a lot of stress ball fidgets do tend to, break. But this is kind of feels like the ideal gift for a gamer. It's a quite a good stress object to just have on your desk, and well, it doesn't look like a stress fidget. This just reminds me that fidgets can be ideal gifts for family and friends. Just make sure you know their needs, preferences, and their likes. I wouldn't be afraid in getting them a fidget they already have because trust me, if they have a preference, you can really overuse them. Thank you for joining me on this journey of fidget overwhelm. Have a lovely day in fidgeting, hobbying, and just don't stop enjoying those special interests. I think I'm going to fidget these to death. See you in the next video. Remember, those links in the description do support this channel, but always do your research if it's a suitable fidget before you buy, and check out our channel for hobby and special interest content. Happy fidgeting. Thanks, now.